Welcome back for the second race of the race weekend here in Jeddah. We had the first race of the weekend, race 1. We will shortly go to race 2, which is the reverse grid of the fastest second lap of qualifying. And race 1 was definitely really challenging race, eventful race. We have seen the winner of the pole, Andrei Petrovic, which was also the winner of race 1, but winning, but not without having to fight for the position to Federico Rifai and Oscar Wurz.
Good. It's good to be back in the box with you once again. What have you been telling all the ladies and gentlemen at home about me?
I was just confused not to have you here on my side, but here you are.
Well, I'll never leave your side again, Luca. Don't you worry. That's 6 minutes until the pit lane is open, ladies and gentlemen. So in just a moment, I'm sure we're going to be going down to Marcello on the starting grid. But until then, Luca and I will entertain you as best as we can. Here we are, going down to Marcello now.
Here we are for the second race of this wonderful event in Jeddah and the Corniche circuit. Here we are with the reverse grid. Half of the point will be for the race of today. We have the first row with Jabor Altani and Laura Villas. Laura is getting ready to get into the car. So Laura, how will you try to manage the start?
Yeah, I will try to keep my lines and like all the exits is the most important on this track. So.
And do you think you can, I see you are running with new tires, do you think you can get to the podium where you are trying hard to get it?
Yeah, I will do my best anyway.
Good luck for your race then, Laura. See you later. So going on with the driver of the championship, we have from Saudi Arabia, Saud Al Saud. It's his first experience on our championship. Saud, the first race was not really lucky, but now you're here on the second row. Well, there is a great chance for you.
I mean, I had a really good start at the first. I made 2 overtakes in the beginning, but you know, I got unlucky. Someone crashed me at the first lap. But now we have a better position. Hopefully, I can make the same move and finish P1.
Well, you have a really high expectation, and I think your pace yesterday was quite good. And will you try really hard from the very first corner, or maybe you will try to play with the toe a little bit during the race?
I mean, I know where I'm lacking. I'll try to improve that place. It's a couple of mistakes, but we'll see where we go. I can't expect what happens in the race.
Good luck, Saud, for your race. Let's give it all. So going on to get some word from other local driver, Omar Alderayan, one of the quickest driver on this championship. He has done really good so far. This race for you is not going like you were expecting, so how are you going to manage this second race of the day?
Well, as always, we're just going to try to do our best and send it when we can. We're nursing a little bit of an issue that we think, so hopefully with this issue I can still manage, but for sure we'll get it fixed as soon as possible and be back at the top.
So our crazy and fast Omar is going to give it all like always. He's usually really good on overtaking. And let's hope for something better than what I've done in this first race. And here we have another local hero, Faisal Al-Kabani. Really good podium in the last races in Losail, a win also. The first Saudi driver winning in a Saudi championship here. So what about your home race?
Super excited for the home race. Unfortunately, race 1 didn't go as planned, but I'm going to make up for it in race 2.
Okay, so let's hope to see you on the podium again for this home event. Good luck, Faisal. So going on, we have another really quick driver that today has already got one podium, the second step of the podium on the first race. Now he's starting on the third row. So Kirill, the second quickest lap time was actually not so good, but at the end let you start closer to the top. So do you think you still have a chance to go again on the podium?
Yeah, for sure I do. Next race I'm going to start from P6 again, so I have to do my best here because it's reverse grid. So I now have such good drivers in front of me, and I'll do my best. I'll try to pass them as soon as possible and make my way and make the pace the best I can, and it's gonna be good, I guess.
You had a really great overtaking in the first races. Which kind of tires are you running now? You think you will have a little bit of tire degradation by the end of the race or not?
For sure, drivers in front are gonna have advantage on me on the tires because they got new tires. But I think that I will be able to keep the pace with them and fight them.
Good luck, Kirill. That's all from our side. Now, see you later at the podium at the end of this wonderful race.
Thank you very much, Marcello. Once again, great job down at the pit lane interviews, and we're just about to get going. I believe the green lights are gone on. You can see everybody adjusting their mirrors and about to go out on track. Here we are, everybody lined up now, 1 minute to go. And you can see on the left-hand side of your screens, that's number 96 of Jabber Al-Thani alongside the blue number 55 of Laura Villas. Laura Villas on screen, ladies and gentlemen, the driver from Switzerland, I believe, sponsored by Arsenal. She's starting in second position on the left-hand side of the grid. She's going to be on the inside line going down into turn 1. What's she going to need to defend against Jabber, Luca, or does she need to focus on the people behind her?
Laura, she's been really good at the start. And she's been starting from the first row already more than once, both in Kuwait and as well in Qatar. So she always had very good starts. So I expect her to have a good launch, and from the second row we will see what Omar and Saud will be able to do. I'm definitely curious. The guy that has the most to lose in this group for sure are Suleiman Zamfari, Petrovic, and I would say Kutskov, because Kutskov, with quite a good weekend in Qatar and a potentially very good weekend here, is really making ground in the championship. He has been probably not as lucky or performing or in the right time, the right place in the previous events, especially in the opening event in Kuwait. But now Kutskov is really doing well, and he could make a lot of ground to some other guys around him and make very good points this weekend.
Yeah, he's got up in pole position, did Kutskov. Sorry, not in pole position. He's second on the grid in the first race, and that's his best qualifying so far, if I'm not mistaken. So that's absolutely fantastic for him. He's really coming to life here in Jeddah. I'm sure we'll hear at the end of the season. I'm sure he won't be surprised at the end of the season where his favorite racetrack is. But back onto the track now. Everybody's coming around the circuit. Speaking about Jeddah Corniche circuit, let's have a quick run through the circuit guide with Luca Philippe.
Yeah, is of course a new generation circuit, really long and tricky, near the coast of Jeddah, the Corniche. We see a very long straight up to 6th gear, hard braking zone into turn 1 and 2. Second or third gear, and then fourth gear for turn 4 with this fast section that is flat out or almost flat out with a little lift in both corner 8 and 9, then back on power up to 6th gear, and then braking into turn 13, 4th gear corner with the banking back to 6th down to 4th for turn 16, again flat out for this long twisty section. And then it's a very quick corner again, 22, 4th gear, and then flat out, potentially an overtaking place into 27, where we have seen some very nice maneuver, which is the last corner of this 6 kilometers point 2 circuit.
6.2 kilometers, Luca. Is that maybe one of the longest circuits in the world?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely it is, as for sure, talking about the regular circuit, the longest is Spa, which is 7 kilometers. So only few other circuits in the world are longer than 6. So in this case, it makes one of the longest, definitely.
And they say it's also the fastest street circuit as well. That's what we always hear when F1 comes around. And we've seen so fast. I mean, it's brilliant action so far. There was a lot of overtaking done in the last race at turn 1. Really some very nice moves. And I think Oscar Wertz actually made the best move down through turn 1. He secured the whole thing on the exit of turn 1 and sealed the deal and started walking away.
Yeah, it was really nice move outside turn 1, which is inside for turn 2. We have seen that working both from Kutskov and also from Oscar Wurz, and we can see that move again today, definitely. Now it's green for the formation lap.
I don't know how you remember formation lap and sighting lap. I can never remember which one is which. I always get it wrong.
I always go first before.
That's why you always let me go first.
So from this point of view, it's also the procedure that these drivers they have to follow. What we do is sort of a shortened procedure. Normally, in a Formula One, to give you more of a generic example, they switch off the engine and have the longer procedure when they are done from the sighting lap, then stop, and then start from the formation. But in this case, as we do all the preparation before in the pit lane, we have this much shorter and just less complicated formation procedure.
Okay, so through the starting grid one more time here, ladies and gentlemen. Jabbar Al-Thani from Qatar in the carbon number 96 is on the left-hand side of the grid. Is he on the left-hand side or the right-hand side? Paul's on the right, isn't he?
He's on the right.
Paul is on the right, so Jabbar starts from Paul on the right-hand side of the grid ahead of Lara Villas in the dark blue, number 55. Saud Al-Saud starts P3 in the number 3 green car, and Omar Al-Walid Al-Duran starts P4 in the yellow, number 18. Faisal Al-Kabani and Kirill Kutskov take the third row of the grids ahead of Amna Al-Kabaisi and Federico Al-Rafai, while Sagar Al-Masherj and Suleiman Zanfari round out the top 10. Hamda Al-Kabaisi starts P11 ahead of Oscar Wertz in P12, while Andrei Petrovic and Abdulaziz Abu Zanada starts P14. A little bit of unfortunate news, ladies and gentlemen, for some of our drivers. There was a turbo failure in one of the cars in the last race, so unfortunately he hasn't had enough time in this condensed race weekend to get back out on grid. But I've spoken to the mechanics and they say they're confident they're going to be back out in race 3. I'm sure the driver's let down, and we all understand and we feel for him, but there's not much you can do. There's an hour between the races. The mechanics, I believe the mechanics would die if they had the option rather than not let the driver go out. But you got to make sure the car is fully prepared before it's released. So they're working on it now, and as soon as it's ready to go, he'll be back on track in race 3. Similarly for Oscar Wertz and Federico Al-Rafai. Unfortunately, they need to change their clutch before they can go back out. So they're not going to be able to join us in this race. There's just a little bit of a tight schedule this weekend. But not to worry, ladies and gentlemen, they'll be back out joining us once again in race 3.
Yeah, talking about starts, definitely, again, it will be crucial going into turn 1. Jabbar Al-Thani will have to do his best to try and maintain the lead, and we have seen very good starts from Laura Villers in the last couple of weekends, but definitely Omar Al-Darayan, Al-Saud and Kirill Kutskov are just there behind with Faisal Al-Kabani, ready to take the opportunity starting from the very beginning of the race.
Yes, indeed, and it looks like the number 96 of Jabbar Al-Thani is poised and ready to go. He's going to have a fight on his hands coming down into turn 1.
Yeah, so with Jabbar pointing already to the center of the track, and Lara Villars also the same thing. Let's see.
4 lights on, 5 lights on, and as they go out, we are underway. Very, very good start from Saud Al Saud as he takes the lead. Coming off the grid down into turn 1, Faiz Al Gabani looking up the inside, but Omar Al Waleed Al Durrani takes P2 on the midpoint of corner 1. Jabir Al Thani having a little bit of a touch there with Laura Villas on the exit or on the chicane of turn 2. Coming down now into turn 4, we can see Andrei Petrovic making a move on the number 96 car, I believe, coming through. Petrovic making good progress so far, but he's got Sagar Al-Masharj in front of him now, and well, he's going to have a lot of work on his hands with the Kuwaiti driver.
What a start from the two hometown heroes, and we have a 1-2 for Saudi Arabia, and maybe shortly we will have a 1-2-3 with Faisal Al-Kabani going on the inside. So at the moment we have the top 3 with Saudi Arabian drivers. What an incredible start of the race for the guys that are from this country, but Laura Villar was able to fight back and maintain in third place. Faisal really has to try and go up to third as soon as possible. Behind him there is Kirill Kutskov, and Kirill has been really quick all weekend, so Faisal has to try and overtake Lara Villers as soon as possible to try and make a 1-2-3 for Saudi Arabia.
A 1-2-3 for Saudi Arabia. That's going to be something special indeed, and you can see that these young drivers have exactly that on their mind, but are they going to be beaten to the punch? There's 2 light blue cars looking on the outside of Faisal Al-Kabani, the silver bullet, the number 7 car, coming down into turn 27. Are they going to have a move up at turn 1? Are we going to see a repeat? Well, Andrei Petrovic is on the inside line now, being pushed into the pit entry. Is he going to be close enough to make a move on all 3 cars? Are we going to go 3 wide across? Once again, we may do just exactly that as Faisal Al-Kabani leads us down into turn 1. Kirill Kutskov goes up the inside and makes the move, while Andrei Petrovic takes almost 3 cars coming through turn 1. Kirill Kutskov and Faisal Al-Kabani go off to avoid contact, and that was something very interesting indeed. Coming down into turn 1, Andrei Petrovic is determined to take position here in this race.
So Kirill Kutskov had to cut turn 2 after the move on the inside to Faisal, but he was really clever to give the position back to Faisal as soon as possible. So Faisal is back into P4, and Andrei Petrovic couldn't overtake none of them. So at the moment we still have Mohamed Al Saud in P1, followed by Omar Al Waleed Al Durrani in second.
Second place for Omar Waleed Al Durrani. He's got to be very, very happy indeed with that, but I'm sure he's not going to be satisfied. You know the racing mentality. He's going to be pushing as hard as he can to get up onto the top spot of the podium.
Then Laura Villers in third she's doing an amazing job in keeping the third place. So when she is following faster guys, faster drivers, she's able to improve her driving. So now, in the meantime, Omar looking to find the lead.
I told you he wasn't going to be satisfied with that P2, Luca. And here we are going around the outside now, right up on the back of the green car's crash box. Saud Al Saud in for the battle of his life here in the second race of the weekend.
And Faisal is in third place. So 1, 2, 3 for Saudi Arabia at the moment. They have to try and don't lose too much ground while they fight these 2.
Andrei Petrovic up into P5, I believe, as well. Yes, indeed. So there's a big battle coming very soon. And at the front of the grid, the yellow and green cars on the left, Omar Al Waleed Al Durrani on the right, Saud Al Saud. Are they going to be able to make a move coming down into turn 1? Across the start-finish line they go, and it looks like Omar is already just slightly in front. Faisal Al-Kabani all the way to the outside. They're looking for action up into turn 1. Everybody continues through in the procession in order, but Omar Al Waleed Al Durrani has come out on top of that scuffle and has taken P1 from Saud Al Saud.
Wow, what a fight. What a fight. And Omar was able to overtake in turn 1. Unfortunately, he did touch a little bit the painted part between the pit entrance and the pit wall. So I just hope that stewards will be happy with this maneuver. We have been told during the briefing that that was a not legal place to put your car. For sure, it was a little forced to go there, but let's hope they can keep this position and fight safely. These three guys at the moment, 1, 2, 3 for Saudi Arabia. What an amazing lap it has been with a fight with these three fellow drivers.
Quick replay now of exactly that action. Here we are on the left-hand side of the green, Saud Al Saud in the green number 3 car. On the right-hand side of the screen, Omar Alid Al Durrani. Faiz Al Kamani goes to the outside. Omar up the inside, takes the position from Saud. Saud trying to fight back, gets a bit of a nice exit coming out of turn 2. You can see Faiz Al Kamani a bit more speed on the exit of turn 2, though starts to come alongside his compatriot in the green car and seems to have managed to get past him as well. As we go back to the live action, it is now Omar Alid Al Durrani, Faisal Al Kabani, the silver bullet, and Saud Al Saud in the green number 3 car. Coming around now, we can see that Saud Al Saud is under attack on both sides from Andrei Petrovic and Kirill Kutskov. That's 2 world champions overtaking Yuri Ramirez. That's got to be a scary sight indeed. Andrei has come out on top. Saud is still alongside the blue number 23 car of Kirill Kutskov as they come down the start-finish line. Now Sagar Al-Masharji is trying to make a move as well on Kirill Kutskov. That's the light blue number 5 car you're going to see in a moment on the left-hand side of your screens. Sagar Al-Masharji in the light blue number 5 car. Is he going to make a move around the outside at turn 1? That's a great place to do it. Kirill is fighting hard. He's pushed him to the outside. Sagar up the inside. There's contact with the green car. Luckily for everybody, it's not a major incident, just a bit of a spin, and he's going to be able to continue on his race, but that's terrible news for Saudi Arabia, as it was a 1, 2, 3 for the kingdom, and now it's Al Walid and Al Kabani 1, 2. That's still a fantastic potential finish, but not the 1, 2, 3, not the podium lookout that they were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a shame. It was tough from behind. They were the 23 and the 5 fighting side by side, and while pushing each other to the limit, they eventually top the rear of Saud. So, such a shame. It was a very nice fight until then.
It was a very, very nice fight indeed. And let's have a quick look back at it now. Here we are coming down the main straight, 4 wide as they come across the start-finish line. On the right hand of the screens, Andrei Petrovic, on the left hand, the green number 3 car, and the light blue 5 and 23 of Kirill Kutskov on Sagar Al-Masharji. It looks like Kirill came over a little bit, made contact with Sagar, and one or both of them came into the back of Saud Al Saud. Saud not managing to get restarted, so there will be a safety car now as they bring his car back to the pit lane.
Wow, so safety car, and it has been already very eventful race. So yeah, we exactly needed a safety car just to make it even more exciting and even more packed, this group with Petrovic today showing an amazing pace, able to overtake up to P3, and yeah, now he has an opportunity to keep fighting for another potential win. Omar did an amazing job in gaining the lead in the right time, and Faisal had a very, very smart race, also in defending to Kutskov earlier in the race. Very unfortunate for Saud, Mohamed Al Saud, that he was also fighting for podium position or at least a top 5. But yeah, that tap from behind really took him out of contention. It's a real shame. He was doing a fantastic job, thinking about the very little time he had on this car, and he was able to really keep the pace of the best drivers of the series.
Yeah, he really showed his hand there, and I think he was doing a good job. He got a fantastic start to get past Jabbar at the start of the race. It was holding on there and was battling in with the best of him. I mean, he had Andrei Petrovic and Kirill Kutskov all over him, and of course we know that they're very, very serious drivers indeed, the Rotex and CAK World Champions respectively. So bad news for Saud Al Saud, but it's still an amazing race so far, and we have Omar Walid Al-Durrani at the front of the grid in his yellow number 18 car ahead of Faisal Al-Kabani. And they really have to worry now about Andrei Petrovic, but with any luck they might think of perhaps together they can work together and keep the red number 49 behind them.
You know that it's hard that two drivers are going to work together. It's not so easy. I mean, they both want to win. It's their home race, and they have a very similar pace as well. So definitely track position and the restart and being the right time, the right place will be crucial. It's hard to say if it is an advantage to stay in front and maintain the lead, or staying behind and try and get the slipstream. So, but they both have a genuine opportunity to win this race.
Yes, and well, we've got to see what's going to happen next. I don't want to give anybody the commentator's curse, but Omar is really wants it to his knee, and right behind him Faiz Al-Kabani wants it as well. But they're going at it, and they're doing us proud, the yellow number 18 and the silver number 7, the silver bullet. I saw just a moment ago, Luca, that the green cars seem to have been moved behind the safety barriers already, so with any luck the safety car lights will extinguish on this lap, and very soon we can go racing again.
Yeah, so I hear we might have some added lap also in the race, which, you know, it's definitely one of the longest race. It has been race 1, as it was a really fast race with all the time in the green, with a lot of actions but no safety cars. It has been definitely really promising. Now we had definitely one safety car, but just for a small accident that didn't cause any damages or problems. Just a shame that the car has stalled, and unfortunately Saud couldn't restart the car.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. He was having such a good race. I really feel for him. But lights out on the safety car, Lucas. So we're just about to go racing once again. And is this Omar Al-Durrain's first time restarting a race on the safety car? I believe it is. Have you given him any words of advice? What do you think he's going to do? Is he going to back them up all the way to the start-finish line and try to avoid anybody getting the advantage on the toe, as you mentioned a few minutes ago?
Yeah, so now he's making a big gap, but he will have everybody on his toes as soon as he put the throttle down. So he really has to be as smart as possible, and it's not an easy task when you are in the lead. You want to try and make a gap to restart the race, especially in such of a fast circuit with long straight as this one is. So now he's trying to pick up, and he will now go flat out on power.
Yeah, you can hear them all going away. Green flag, and away we go. Everybody has to stay behind Omar until he crosses the start-finish line. Effectively, he has become the safety car, and as we cross the start-finish line, we will resume racing.
Yeah, so he's able to stay in front with Faisal really close, but also Petrovic. Faisal trying the inside.
But Omar holds them off, and Andrei tucks in behind the silver bullet. There's contact. Andrei's lost his wing, and looks like a light blue car. Perhaps Kirill Kutskov may have lost the wing as well, and the orange car of Solomon Zamkari has come into contact with Sagar Al-Mashaj, and that will probably have to be a safety car. The car is crabbing.
Yeah, definitely we'll see a safety car again. He's able to maintain the third place, but he lost the front wing. So, wow, it will be a tough race for Andrei to finish, as he lost the wing. Let's see if there are debris on track. Zamfari is trying to go back to the pits. Not gonna be easy, and Kirill Kutskov in P3 now.
Kirill Kutskov, P3. Very, very good news for him. Andrei Petrovic, where is he on track? Did you see him? He's lost his wing, but as you said, he managed to keep going around. This is good news, however, for Omar Walid Al-Durrani and Faisal Al-Kabani, who are stretching their lead at the front of the grid.
Oh, wow. And here we have Sakira Mosherji, definitely with a bent suspension, trying to go back to the pits. Yeah, definitely. The restart was a bit hard to manage with all these cars. And now we have the Al-Kubaisi also overtaking Petrovic, as he's losing downforce and he's losing speed. It's hard for him to maintain his position. He has to try and get as many points as he can.
He has to try everything he can, and we've seen that he does exactly that. I'm not sure he'll be able to put it on the podium this time without a missing wing, but I also wouldn't be surprised. Back to the front of the grid, the action at the moment between the yellow number 18 of Omar Al-Durain and the silver number 7 of Faisal Al-Kabani as they come across the start-finish line. It looks like they're side by side. In fact, it looks like Faisal Al-Kabani has gotten a slightly better exit.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Very good job. Very wise driving there from Omar Al-Durain. And in the aggregate, I think it's going to come out in his favor.
Sakira Mosherji unfortunately has to retire. But at least he was able to come back to the pit, so the team will be able to fix the car for the third race. Now Petrovic tried to defend. Definitely not an easy race for Andrei Petrovic with a broken wing.
Not an easy race at all, and Hamda Al-Kubaisi, I believe, in the same incident, lost her wing. Well, she hasn't quite lost it yet. It's hanging on in there, just like Andre and Hamda are doing. They're continuing down now, and we're going to see what's going to happen, but obviously Andre is going to have a hard time here.
Yes, as Amda as well, because Air Wing is now rubbing on track, so I presume she will get a black and orange flag. Black and orange means that your car has a technical issue, so you have to go to the pits to repair the issue if you can. So I'm sure she will try and continue as long as possible, but it's really possible that she will get the flag in the next lap, and eventually the race for her is also over.
Yes, at this point I believe you're right, Luca. With the wing like that, it is about to come off. She has to come in, and I'm sure she's going to be showing the flag, and I'm sure she'll respect that and come into the pit lane.
Yeah, you know, also because when you are in the car, you don't really have the whole picture of how the wing is. You can maybe feel a little bit of rubbing, and now Petrov is able to gain the position, and Altani also is maximizing the situation and going up to P7 right now and back to P8. So she feels that the wing is rubbing, but it's hard for her to understand how bad the damage is. So you just don't know if it's dangerous, just in case the wing falls down. From the point of view inside the car, you cannot really see it.
Solomon Zanfari has managed to return to the pit lane after the incident. What corner was that incident, Luca?
So they touch between turn 3 and turn 4, and I didn't really understand what was the situation, but everybody had a bit of a bang wheels exiting turn 2, and between 2 and 4 there was a bit of everything going on. First started with Petrovic losing the front wing and maybe somebody else collecting it, and then it all became a sort of a domino effect with Zanfari going into the wall and eventually being able to bring the car back to the pits.
Yes, indeed, Sager as well, I believe, managed to return into the pits. We saw him grabbing back into the pit lane. It's really unfortunate for the young drivers, but the team will be right on top of that and fix the cars as soon as possible. Let's have a quick replay of the action now. Here we are down into turn 1. We can see Omar Walid Al-Durrani and Faisal Al-Kabani moving through turn 1. A little bit of contact there with Andrei Petrovic and Faisal Al-Kabani. It looked like the front left end plate of Petrovic came into contact with the rear right tire of Cabanillas, and that caused a little bit of bunching up, and then this bunching up led to an incident with the orange number 52 and the light blue number 5 car, Solomon Zanfari and Sagar Al-Masherji. Unfortunate news for the two young drivers, but that's racing, folks. Sometimes you come into contact. I understand that the incident is under investigation by the race director, and I hope soon we'll have some information about that. Coming down now into the main straight, Faisal Al-Kabani in P1, the silver bullet, number 7. Coming across the start-finish line in just a moment. Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani may have dropped off a little bit in the last lap or so. He's now 1.2 seconds behind the leader. Just a little bit further down the order, we have the light blue number 23 of Kirill Kutskov and the number 88 of Amna Al-Gabasi battling it out for P2 and P3. The two cars continuing around the circuit now, with Kirill holding off the purple number 88 car, the Emirati driver who has been fighting for a podium all season, a top step atop the podium all season long.
So definitely Kirill is now struggling a little bit with his tires, I presume, and Amna, she's really quick, and she just did her best lap of the race so far, which is not the fastest lap, but almost the fastest lap of the race. So she's really pushing hard, and she found a good rhythm behind Kirill Kuskov. In the previous lap she was almost 1 second faster. So let's see if she has enough pace to get closer and to overtake him.
Yes, and let's see exactly that very soon, I hope. A little bit of a correction there from Kirill through that corner, and as they come down now into the back half of the circuit, we'll see if Omar Walid Al-Durrani can make a move on Faisal Al-Kabani anytime soon. The gap maintains at 1.16, I believe, although my timing screen may be slightly out of date. As we come around now, we can see Faisal still leading the yellow number 18 car. Just behind them, Kirill Kutskov holding off Hamda Al-Kabasi in the purple, number 88. Faisal taking off the tear off there, ladies and gentlemen, as we come down now into the final corners of the lap. With, I believe, 1 lap left to go. We're on lap 9 at the moment. Are they showing the checkered flag this lap, Luca, or is there one more lap around? I think there's one more lap around. 3 laps added information in my ear, ladies and gentlemen. I should pay attention more closely. I'm sorry for that. 3 laps added to the total race direction. Of course, that regulation here in Formula 4 Saudi Arabia, where if you have a safety car, the race director can extend the race by 3 more laps, of course, depending on the circuit schedule. If there's time to go longer and give these young drivers more track time, we'll do it. If there's not really anything we can do. Luca Philippe, what do you think is going on in the front of the grid? Is Omar Al-Durrani going to have to change something up to try and catch up to Faisal Al-Kabani?
They have a very, very similar pace. Omar is still pushing as hard as possible to try and keep a close gap to Faisal, and he's able to do it. But Faisal just overtook and got the place in the right time of the race, and this little gap is giving a little bit of tow and slipstream to Omar, but not so much at the moment to try and fight him back. I have to say that they have already a couple of fights over the course of the championship. In the last event in Qatar, Omar was able to win race 3 over Faisal, and it was a fantastic race between the two. But maybe this time Faisal can get his revenge over his friend and
his frenemy.
But well, it was a nice fight between them.
Well, it was indeed, and Al-Walid is just 1.2 seconds behind. It's not completely out of order that he could catch up to the silver bullet, but Faisal really doing himself proud, I'm sure, here at home in Saudi Arabia. He's very, very, very happy to be pushing himself down into turn 17 and or turn 27, I should say. A whole 10 corners out of sync we are there. Turn 27, of course, at the gorgeous Jeddah Corniche circuit. As we continue down now across the start-finish line, Faisal Al-Kabani just exiting the bottom of the screens ahead of Omar Al-Durrani, and then Kirill Kutkov and Lara Villas. Really, it's been an action-packed race here, ladies and gentlemen. Great start for Saud Al Saud, jumped up into P1. It was 1, 2, and 3 for Saudi Arabia at one point, with Faisal Al-Kabani, Omar Al-Durrani, and Saud Al Saud all on track, battling for action. And we can see really the advantage that Faisal and Omar have, of course, having had half a season's race experience over their compatriot Saud Al Saud. Of course, Saud not a junior. Well, I shouldn't say that. He's not. He is still a junior driver, but he's got a lot of experience at this track, especially with Porsche. Fantastic young driver, but Formula cars is a different thing, another beast altogether, and we're seeing that played out. And I hope that Saud is enjoying himself, and he had a great start. I was very proud of him, and hopefully he'll be back here in a week or so, and we can go racing again, and maybe in the next time around he'll be up on the top step of the podium. And that's exactly what Faisal Al-Kabani and Omar Al-Walid has set as the example here.
You still have a fight for the third step of the podium, with Kutkov for the moment able to keep Amna Al-Kubaisi at bay. Amna only 0.8 of a second behind him. We can see that she's quite close to Kirill. Kirill was able to fight back and just extend a little bit the distance and keep her close, but not too close for the moment. She had the momentum a couple of laps ago. She was really close, and she could have tried and overtake. Now she's trying and get closer, and when we entered into the last lap of the race.
Yep, this is her last chance. Coming down into turn 1 is a great place to make a move. Turn 13, we've theorized maybe you can make something happen. Turn 27, we've seen action. What do you think, Luca? Where is she going to go for it? Or is she close enough to go for it?
For the moment, she's not close enough. She really has to pull an amazing, super last lap of the race, and potentially the last corner is her best bet if she can get close enough.
If she can get close enough, and she's getting closer and closer. You can see the gap shrinking. She must be listening to us in race control. I'm sure Kirill's on heavily used tires, trying to maintain a good set for the last race. So this is Hamda's chance to try to get up there into P3. I'm sure she's got it in her sights, and the purple number 88 is speeding around the track now. Foot flat down onto the floor all the way around all 27 corners of this beautiful circuit.
So she is quite close. This is turn 13. This is where she had a bit of a lockup, and she's a little too far. So it's only half lap to try and get the third step of the podium away from Kirill Kutskov.
Kirill Kutskov, though, defending beautifully so far. Do you think he's on a heavily used set, or what tire-wise? What are we looking at here, Luca?
Yeah, for sure. It's a used set of tires, so he's maybe a little bit struggling with the pace at the moment. Or who knows, maybe he had a little bit of a contact, so maybe the toe is not perfect, so he's lost a little bit of pace through the race. But as also the guys in front has dropped a little bit the pace since the beginning of the race.
Yes, it's true, but Faiz Al-Kabani now with a 2.3 second lead. He's stretching his legs, and I think at this point, last lap to go, and Al-Kabani coming around turn 27, the silver bullet, number 7, Faisal Al-Kabani, ladies and gentlemen, down the main straight of the Jeddah Corniche circuit. He starts to celebrate already. He knows what's coming. We all know what's coming as they cross the start-finish line. Faisal Al-Kabani takes P1 for Saudi Arabia here at the Jeddah Corniche circuit, just ahead of the yellow number 18 of Omar Al-Walid Al-Durrani, as Kirill Kutskov comes out ahead of Hamda Al-Kabasi. They are joined by Laura Villas in the blue number 55 as the remainder of the drivers come into the start-finish straight and down and take the checkered flag. And Luca, I think that's my cue to head down to the podium. Will you entertain the ladies and gentlemen for me?
Thank you very much, Aaron. Here we have then the winner, Faisal Al-Kabani, and we have seen also in the final straight Kirill Kutskov shaking the car, I think as like a happiness sign for a second podium in a row in a very promising weekend for him, because he scored many points compared to the leaders of the championship like Petrovic, like Rifai, and also Zamfari. So definitely Kutskov and Al-Kabani and Alderayyan really made a big jump in terms of points. It's really hard to say now. I think we have to regroup tonight after race 3 in terms of where are the points in the series, in the championship. Anything can change. We have seen a lot of action, and we just have to make sure now we can recover all the cars in order to be ready for the 3. Really try and have all the cars ready to race for the final race of today, which is the first event of the Saudi Arabian Championship of Formula 4, certified by FIA. And definitely in a street course, in a street circuit as it is Jeddah, anything has a little bit of extra risk, let me say, because if you spun the car or have a contact, then the wall is closer compared to anywhere else we go to, and not just closer but also harder, let me say, because hitting the wall is the worst thing for a racing car. This is what happened to, unfortunately, Zamfari, while the front wing damage was for Petrovic and also for Hamda Al-Kubaisi. But I have to say that Laura Villers in P5 and Jabor Altani in P6 must be happy, as is definitely the best result ever for both of them. Here we have Faisal Al-Kabani, hometown hero, position 6 in the championship, and now position 1 in race 2. And second place of today, race 2, we have Omar Al-Walid Al-Darayan. What a fight between these two drivers. Really amazing fight. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed every moment of it. It's a bit of a shame for the safety car, as there was the restart, and after that it was a little bit of an eventful race. It was really hard, and when I've seen the fight, I mean, I really enjoyed it, because both of them, they are fighters. They are two drivers that they really do their best every time they go in the car, and in the reverse grid they are always the guys that they deliver the best show. Here we have Faisal and Omar congratulating each other. Omar, unfortunately, not so happy. He must be happy, but maybe not so happy, as second place is not what you're looking for if you're a racing driver. But he's a competitive guy, I understand him, but he did an amazing job again today. He told us he had a little of an issue that he has to solve in the car, and you know, luckily he will come back stronger, I'm sure. Really happy Faisal Al-Kabani win here in Jeddah, and 1-2 for Saudi Arabia. It was such a shame for Saud, Mohamed Al Saud, that he was also fighting for a podium position, but not so lucky today, as he's been hit from behind from it's hard to say who, from both of the two blue car, Kutskov and Sakira Mosherji, in a very difficult situation, a bit of a complicated, and one of those things that was unfortunate, let me say, for sure not intentional, I want to underline. And here we are in the circuit in Jeddah, near the coast, and so far we had a lot of action. Really want to see these guys racing for the third race of the race event. Third race will be based on the fastest race, or the fastest qualifying third best lap. And we will see again Petrovic on pole, and we will see the grid later on for the third race of the weekend. But Petrovic couldn't quite score as many points as he wanted for this race 2, as he had he lost his wing. But let's hear what the top 3 drivers has to say with Marcello.
Here we are again for the second race of the day. Less point today, but still on the podium for Kirill Kutskov. Really a wonderful race, roller coaster of emotion during this race. I mean, you made it again.
Yeah, that was a tough race, big chaos there after restart, and even before. A lot of people from behind trying to get in front, you know, always like this in reverse grid races. For sure it was a big casino somewhere, a lot of crashes, free crash, I don't know, was something like that, but I managed to do this, also knowing that I had old tires compared to the drivers surrounding me, which had new tires, completely new tires. So I think for these tires I had a good pace and good result in gaining 3 places. That was a good race, yeah.
So it seems like you have a really good feeling from the very first time you went out on track. So what to expect from the next one?
I am still having a new set of tires for the last race. I'm starting P6 once again. I will try to do my best, but it's not going to be a reverse grid race, so it's going to be harder, way harder for me. And I will try my best, and we see. For sure, I'm going to go for a third podium in a row.
So good luck for the next one.
Yeah, good job from Kirill Kuskov. It's nice to see him satisfied and happy as his second consecutive podium of the day.
Omar Alderian again on the podium in your home race. I mean, it must be really a great result for you.
Yeah, it feels great. Of course, happy to 1-2 with another Saudi driver. Could have been better. We were nursing a problem, slow on the straights, and I just couldn't do more than that. But as always, just move on to the next one.
Do you think that safety car didn't help out? I mean, you were leading by a little bit of gap between you and the other, but then with that safety car, you had to manage it.
Yeah, but the safety car didn't help, that's for sure. But it was just a matter of time. Me losing while I'm in his slipstream means when he's in my slipstream, he gains a lot. So there's nothing I could have done more than that. I tried my best, though.
Really good race anyway. Really good job.
So, like we said, there is something going on with Omar that he's not totally happy with, but definitely second place is a good result for Omar in his first home race of the season.
Here we are again, another win for Faisal Al-Kabani. Faisal, I don't know what to say. I mean, in the quali you are one man, in the race you are like a lion, fighting from the very beginning, try to catch up the lead. You made it, and then you were pulling away straight away. I mean, it was a wonderful race. How does it feel? This is your hometown with your home crowd, all the people here supporting you. Must be great.
It's honestly the best feeling. I thought Lusail was a nice feeling to be the first Saudi to win in the F4 Saudi Arabian Championship, but winning in Jeddah in front of my family and my friends is, I'm on top of the moon.
Yeah, I mean now, but I have to ask you why you're missing in quali and why in the race you are so fast.
I want to make it more exciting for everybody watching. That's why. No, to be honest, this is my biggest thing that I need to work on, and I've noticed that since first round. I feel like I'm closing the gap round by round, but it's still not enough for a higher quali position. But yeah, that's what I have to say to that.
Congratulations. You did a mega job and enjoy your win.
And really, really happy, Faisal, really happy, Faisal Al-Kabani. And from this point of view, winning a race in your home race is the best feeling, for sure. So it really came with the motivation to try and win one of these races, for sure. And doing it in the very first event of the three, it's drop away a little bit of pressure from your shoulders and a lot of satisfaction. So here we have Omar going into P2 in the very first corner, and now we have Omar going into the lead, Saud second, Faisal third, top three from Saudi, and a lot of action with Kutskov and Petrovic. Then Petrovic able to go to P3, and here unfortunately for Saud, Mohamed Al Saud, he was tapped by behind into a spin, and here we have Petrovic not really finding the right gap and breaking his front wing, and this eventually happened for both Amosherji and Zamfari to coming back to the pits and retired for the race. And Faisal Al-Kabani winning, second for Omar Al-Walid Al-Rayyan, and P3 for Kirill Kutskov. P4 very close to the podium finish for Amna Al-Kubaisi. was a lot of action. Let's see again what happened at the beginning of the race. We have Jabor Al-Thani on pole. Not a great start from him, but look at the green car with Al Saud. What a start, able to squeeze in the middle and go to the lead. What a start from him. And we also have Al-Kabani. What a start from Faisal. He launched himself into turn 1 and he managed to go up to P4 and especially ahead of the two blue cars from Kutskov and Al-Mosherji that are really fast drivers. So he put himself, Faisal Al-Kabani, in the perfect position to try and fight for the win of the race. He then had to overtake Laura Villers, who did an amazing job today, and she finished in top 5, position 5, her best result. And now we see 1-2 for Saudi, and then Faisal Al-Kabani trying the inside, trying to get the third place to Laura Villers. And then Faisal had a long fight with Omar later in the race. Faisal now is still fourth with Kutskov very close to him. What the beginning of the race, it was a lot of action, but still a very clean opening lap of the race. And then going into the last corner, there is still the fight for the third place with Laura Villers, Al-Kabani and Kutskov. And for the moment, Villers able to keep the position. The two light blue cars, Al-Mosherji and Kutskov, fighting. As usual, these two very young and talented drivers. Al-Kabani really good at defending. This was a key moment of his race, because keeping the position right now was really important, as if one of those drivers was able to overtake him, it would have been really hard then to go and fight for the win. In the red car we have Petrovic, and Petrovic he was able to go even up to P3 at a certain point of the race. And here we have Kutskov that is able to gain the place, but cutting the corner, he then had to give the position back, which he did before turn 4. So fair fight. He tried to overtake. He had to cut the corner, but then he gave the position back. So no further action for this accident. So it was really good thinking for Kirill by giving the position back. Here we see the view from the Jeddah Corniche circuit. Probably the fastest street course around the world, definitely. A new generation track, street circuit, but it was built over street for the circulation of the traffic, but now these streets are closed, and it sort of became a closed permanent racetrack. So, but it's still defined as a race course in terms of homologation and in terms of the characteristics. As you can see in some of the corners, the edges of the track are limited not by the curbs or by the grass, but by a wall. So this is the difference in between a street course or a street circuit compared to a traditional permanent racetrack. This is all the lights that we have all around the track. It's incredible the visibility that you have during the night, even if it will be a very dark night, believe me, but with all this lighting they are really efficient, and the visibility you have is simply perfect, as we even had some of the drivers that wanted to race with a dark visor, believe me. But Faisal Al-Kabani, winner of today race 2. Omar Al-Walid Al-Derayan in second. 1-2 for Saudi. Kirill Kutskov third. OK karting world champion. Amna Al-Kubaisi almost on the third step of the podium. Laura Villers, P5, best result for her. As it is for Jabor Altani in P6. Andrei Petrovic without the front wing, he did his best to grab some point and finish in P7. Amda Al-Kubaisi in P8, Almosherji 9 and Zamfari in 10. And here we go for the podium with Aaron Thompson, and see you for race 3.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm so glad you can join us down here in the paddock for the podium. Without any further ado, I'd like to start into the celebration, so can I please call on the drivers to please suit up? If everybody's ready, we'll get right into it. Okay, so now for the overall podium presentation. In third place, may I please call Mr. Kirill Kotskov! And in second place, Mawlid Aldrian! And in first place, atop the top step of the podium, once again, Faisal Al-Kabani! And now, Mr. Walid Kota, may you please present the third place trophy? And if you would be so kind, please, Mr. Mohammed Jowd, would you please present the second place trophy? And would you be so kind, please, Mr. Ahmed Jan, the technical manager from the SAMF, please present the first place trophy. And now for a quick photo opportunity. Drivers only, please, for one moment. All right, thank you very, very much, everybody. Just give us a brief moment, and we'll get underway with the rookie podium. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's get into the rookie podium. And in third position, I'd like to call Mr. Jabor Altani. And in second position, Kirill Kotskov. And in first position, atop the top step of the podium, once again, Aldrian. And now, please, for the trophy presentation, third place, Mr. Walid Kota. And if you'd be so kind, please, Mr. Abdul Jawad, the second place trophy. And of course, Mr. Ahmed Jan, if you would please present the first place trophy. And now a quick photo opportunity. And now if the presenters could please join us on the podium. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Now a brief reset, and we will do the leading lady category. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, let's get into the leading lady category. And in third place, I'd like to call Hamd Al-Kabasi. And in second position, Laura Villas. And in first position, Amnal Gabassi. And now for the trophy presentation, may I please call on Mr. Walid Kota to present the third place trophy. And now, if you'd be so kind, please, Mr. Al-Jawad, the second place trophy. And of course, Mr. Ahmed Jan, the technical delegate, the technical manager at the SAMF. Thank you very much. Now, a quick photo opportunity with the drivers. And if you could please join us on the podium now, presenters. Okay, thank you very, very much, everybody. So from me, Aaron Thompson, from Luca Filippi, my co-commentator, and all the hard-working men and women here at Formula 4 Saudi Arabia, thank you for very, very much for joining us here for race 2, and I hope to see you again shortly for the final race of the weekend.